Everybody, have you heard the news? Got a brand new show that's breaking all the rules. Started out from VA and now we on the move. From local to global, cause we got something to prove. We came from the bottom, now we at the tippy top. Cause we all we got. This a cold, cold world, but we keeping it hot. With our future on the line, ain't no time to stop. All work over here, still we having fun. We say it like it is, ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team and we getting it done. And shout out to Travell, #1. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. To educate new generations is our mission. Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady politicking. If you ain't about to change, mind your business.
Wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. That's politics, like we all up on the ground with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. Now wait again, minute. Wave your hands with it. We toxic, like we all up on the ground with it.
Welcome to another episode of Wait Again Minute Podcast. Today is Tuesday, February the 8th, 2022. Our episode tonight, well, all of the episodes are fire, but tonight is very special because we have a serial entrepreneur.
You better know it.
By the name of Sunshine. So, Miss Sunshine, like, how has your day been?
You know what? My day was good. I'm just playing. I've had a rock star day. It's been awesome. I got a lot of stuff accomplished today. A lot of stuff.
Good. So today was a good day.
Heard all the way around.
Ain't no wrong with that. Miss Go Getter, how was your day?
My day was chill. I didn't really work today, but it was chill.
Oh, well, it must be nice to have a rock star day and, didn't work today.
Yeah.
So hopefully
it was really
I'll
nice.
be able to follow suit tomorrow.
We'll have a rock star day, a productive day,
working. And not work hard.
Yeah, that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
don't know
you got to
about
speak
all
into
that,
existence.
You have to. You have to.
Okay, Miss Sunshine. So tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, so I'm Sunshine. Serial entrepreneur would be a great title for, I guess, what I'm called nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I own several businesses. Most notably would be The High, which is a members-only cigar club located at 307 High Street in Portsmouth.
Okay.
And then my newest baby is called Truth. Truth is a boutique neighborhood style bar that offers a high-end experience to those who are looking for something different and unique from the traditional club type scene. And then we own a company called Sinful Wings, which is a gourmet wing and milkshake company, which is owned with me and my son. Hey, Cecilia.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Where is that located?
It's also inside of Truth. We do that as a lunch menu. So we consolidated during the pandemic. So I had to keep him close to me. Business was hard. So he runs that during lunchtime from 11 to 3, Monday through Friday. Come see my baby.
Okay.
I know plug. Okay.
So we get it that you're a serial entrepreneur, but like, where did you grow up? Like, what did you do, before you have arrived to where you are now?
Yeah, funny. I wasn't supposed to be here, not in this capacity.
Why?
I am from Portsmouth, Virginia, Alabama, born and raised in the P. We feel important.
I'm scared.
I was a single mother, a teenage mother.
Okay.
I got pregnant in 11th grade of high school, and I was super smart, but being a young girl who was just caught up in the image of low self-esteem and little boy come around and smile in your face, and before you know it, boom, you're pregnant. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. So at that point it was like, okay, I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to grow up and get the project house and go through that. So I pushed really hard, stayed here instead of going off to college, and went to the Norfolk State University.
See, we were off to a good start.
I got to keep it going. I felt all that good energy. So I went to Norfolk State for political science. I wanted to be a city manager.
Okay.
City manager / lawyer. I had it planned out. Like I was going to go to law school so I could be super smart in the law standpoint. Because when you run in a city, it's a lot of legalities that go with it. And then I was going to go off and be a city manager. But the bug hit me in college. I opened up my first janitorial franchise, coverall franchise, just because I was a young mother and I got sick of working the 1 to 10 at Sprint. Everybody at the call center. I was killing. Everybody bill was credited messing with me. So once I got that buzz, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can really make this amount of money with less time and spend more time with my family. From there, I just kind of went from there. Stayed on it, but growing up in a a household where it's like, no, you go to school, you get your government job and go on about your business. So I went off and I worked for the federal government as a logistics management specialist. I went off to get my master's in public administration, a second master's in criminal justice, a PhD in public administration. My goal was like, I was the budget manager for a major city. I worked in Portsmouth and the finance department. I've done so much in that field, but entrepreneurship just kept tugging at me. And just, I went back and took a peep. And once I took that peep, I've been head on since 2017, full time.
Okay, what was your first one? The janitorial?
Janitorial business was back in 2003.
Okay.
And I did that in conjunction with going to college. So that helped me pay for college. I still got them student loans, so don't get twisted.
Right, exactly.
So after school, when you decide to finally say, okay, entrepreneurship is what I'm going to do, what was the first actual business you started outside of that?
My mom, it was like, no, you go get a government job. Like my mom was the ultimate federal employee. Like that was success in my household.
Right, okay.
So I went off to work for the federal government. Then I left there and then started working more in local government because I wanted to touch more of my community. And then during a good friend of mine had Candace Court, breast cancer, triple negative breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of hit me that during the process, like we were always thick girls, you know, got these thighs, we cute. We started working out and I fell in love with group fitness and I fell in love with that aspect. But a trouble spot was I was going to like 5 different places to get the classes that I want. I didn't care about the weights. I didn't care about any of that. I just wanted the group fitness classes.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? We're going to work out and I'm just going to open up a place that we can all do it together. My first business was Fit Bar.
Okay.
But I had no intentions of being a full-time entrepreneur. It was literally, I want to be selfish and I want a place where we can all do group fitness. I know all the dope instructors. Right. We're going to come to this place and this is where we're going to work out and I'm getting my fix and I'm going to go to work. So I did that for roughly almost a year.
Okay.
Of working my full-time job, getting off work at 3:30, going home, freshen up, getting my kids, and we going to the business at 5 o'clock, and we're running it into 10. I did that for a whole year until Hurricane Matthew hit in October of 2016.
Okay.
Completely devastated my business. I was stressed. I was losing everything. I'm like, okay, I got to save this business because it's successful.
Right.
So took a second mortgage out of my house to try to save a business. Never do that again. That was a big mistake.
Oh.
We can talk about that later, but never rehab a building you do not own. Just walk away. So from October to January, just being stressed affected my health and trying to manage both. God said you got to pick one.
Yeah.
So January of 2017, I picked Fit Bar, and I've been rolling as a full-time entrepreneur since.
Wow.
Oh, and that was interesting. So you picked Fit Bar over your government job.
Yeah,
and you've been going ever since.
That was hard too. I made good money.
Yeah, but I can kind of relate to you on that because before I started, since I was working for the government too, and it came to the point where, it came to the point where I had to like make a decision, and I decided and chose my business, and my business has been going ever since. But I understand that. So sometimes you have to do that though.
Yeah, exactly. So being that, well, it was good that you were obedient to God and you actually listened to Him. I know it probably was a struggle then, but now when you look at it, it's like. Okay, I see.
It was. My husband had left. It was just terrible. I was out here in the streets by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, but it just kept nagging at me. I would go to, Sunday used to get an attitude. Like, damn, get up and go to work. Like my whole mood. It started getting so bad. Saturday night, I had attitude.
Thinking about Monday.
Thinking about Monday. But the minute I got off work, no matter how tired I was at work, the minute I got off, I rushed home to get my yoga pants, my Fit Bar t-shirt, to run off to open my business. And I was so happy. Working out all the time, talking to people, even the stress. I mean, sometimes we weren't making as much as we should, but I still was happy and was still keeping my house, my life. I didn't miss anything. So I'm like, wait a minute, this might be something I can do. So at the end of the day, my degrees will never go anywhere. My experience is a lock. So if it didn't work, I could always go back.
Right.
So you say you had a PhD. So are you Dr. Sunshine?
Actually, I am.
That's
crazy. Wow.
I am. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, that's something I
weird.
didn't know. I wouldn't have never guessed Dr. Sunshine. So we should be saying Dr. Sunshine.
You know what? I used to be like, yeah, call me Dr. Sunshine. But then when I started being the fitness person, I thought it was misleading for me to have Fit Bar. We got into health and wellness and juicing and vegan food. I had opened up a whole vegan restaurant. I thought it was misleading to my clients for them to call me Dr. Sunshine when I was a PhD and not an MD.
Right.
So I dropped the doctor.
Yeah. Okay. But you have PhD behind your name, or no?
Period. She does.
That's actually good, and it's good. You know, I guess being that your mom, she's from the era where, you know, like you said, go to school, get a good job. That was what they did. But being that now that you look at it, now you look back on it, do you think it was worth it? Because like you said, you can always go back.
Getting all the degrees or leaving?
Getting all the degrees. If you had something to fall back on.
When I look at my student loans, I say no. But I just had this conversation with my son, and no one please take this the wrong way. But I was in the kitchen with my son, and he went to the Norfolk State University, and he flunked out. He, you know, got into the party scene of it, and he was like, "Mom, this is for me. This is for me." So I said, "Okay, well, you did a year in college like I asked. So now do a year in business." So I gifted him his first business, which was Sinful Wings. His name is Sincere, so correlation. And he kind of flunked in that too, in the sense of the management of money. Business is great, but the management is what makes you sustainable.
Right, correct.
So when you're making lump sums of money each day and you're going out and doing different things, that's not going to sustain the business.
Money,
So I brought him back more under my wing, and I just had the conversation with him. I said, "You've done college and struggled. You did business and you struggled. So right now you're in a place that you're not happy. You need to make a decision. And I think for you, college is the best." He was like, "No, Mom, but you in business." I'm structured because of school. School gave me discipline. That's all it is. Like, listen, I can tell you all the theorists and the philosophers, they ain't did nothing for me in my regular life. Went up to trigonometry. Only thing I need to know how to do is 1 + 1 is 2 is my money right. None of that mattered, but what it did do is teach me discipline. And that's what this generation is missing, is the discipline and consistency to make something of yourself. You can't learn that in social media. IG, you can't learn it taking the pictures and all of that. School is where you get that structure. And I told him, I said, either you're going to continue to be a worker or you're going to learn the avenue of being a boss.
Now,
and I think you can only learn that in school.
Now, I'm glad you said that. Now, do you believe, because you're a serial entrepreneur, I think it's right that I asked you this question, do you believe that everyone is meant to be a boss?
No, absolutely not. And I think bosses need to understand that the word boss is overrated. I'm nothing without my team.
That's right.
Exactly.
The most important person within my business. Hey, Shonda. Hey, Pooh. Hey.
Hey, girl.
If she wasn't as great as a support, I wouldn't be as great as a boss.
As a boss, correct.
You need an entire team. She wouldn't be as great as a support if I wasn't as great as I am as a boss. It's a package deal. We come as one. If she falls out and leaves me, I'm coming to hunt you. You try to leave me. But we go together, and what people I'm a boss. No. You can't become a boss until you first learn how to lead. I've worked under the most successful people in local government. I learned how to take my feelings out. It's never personal and mission focused only. That's how I try to lead my team. But if they didn't buy into my vision, if they didn't understand what we were trying to do, there would be no me. So I would be stupid to say, "Oh yeah, I'm a boss." No, I'm a person that's fortunate to lead a great team.
Exactly. Because you are as good as your team is.
Without them, listen, hey, unless someone get on and do some cyber stuff and not, have to stay in a room, But when you're in the service industry and you're providing a service in a brick and mortar business, you have to have a dope team, and you have to take care of your team.
Now, do you think that team, sometimes people can be around you and they just not equipped for your team, but they're good elsewhere? Like, have you ever ran across that?
Absolutely. I didn't ran through so many different people. Oh my gosh. At first I thought it was me. Is it me? No, you just have to find a synergy that works for your vision. First, before you can even form a team, you have to know what your vision is. What are you trying to accomplish? And I kind of, not organically, but stumbled into this whole, I don't want to call it a club scene, but in this
night scenes and
entertainment type industry. It wasn't actually for me, but God led me there. But I always wanted something different.
Okay.
I don't want to be the lit club. I don't want to be the place where, it's 7,000 people inside of you. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I never wanted that. And it was hard establishing a team that understood that vision. Give me the dopest 20 people.
Right.
And I'm going to provide the most exclusive service. I'm going to have the best alcohol. I'm going to have the amazing food. You're going to get a vibe that's unmatched. And you're going to want to continue to come back. That my 20 is going to be worth your 200 in your club.
Correct.
So trying to get people that understood that, because people love instant gratification.
Right. Exactly.
They like being lit. They like that whole hey, da, 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 and they want to be a part of something for clout.
And that's hard. You said a mouthful just then, girl.
Building a team that understood that I teach my girls and I say, hey, we may not have 100 people in here every night. We might not. We might only have 10 or 15. But I promise you, you provide quality service to those 10 or 15. You're going to make way more than the bottle girls that's running 6 and 7, 8 sections.
Right.
Because we focus on quality. Over quantity and truth and the hype. And we've created a brand that I think has resonated across all of my platforms, that people gravitate to what I got going on because they know I'm not going to let the younger person with his pants hanging down or the girl with her fuzzy slippers just because they got $1,000 in their pocket. Yeah. Nah, you can't come here. Right. This is not for you. But the guy that just got off work with his, shipyard clothes on looking dirty, he can come in here because he got $12,000 in the bank. And he don't mind putting up 2 of those a night. Is, that's what we gravitate to. So finding a team that understood where I am and where I'm going and what I'm trying to establish was so hard. But I really think I have that now. And I'm so excited for Truth, and I'm excited for the High and all things that we got coming, because building that team was critical.
Right. Yeah, so that I do believe that that's very important. And then to piggyback off of what you said about people are they want to be in the hype. I think that that's short-lived, though.
It is.
Because soon as the hype is over, it's like they go to the next spot. And they're not loyal to those owners.
Right.
So being that you're providing a vibe, which a vibe can't be brought. It cannot be brought. I don't care who you bring, fly in or whatever.
Or who try to duplicate it.
Exactly, because I'm sure that's a lot of that is going on too. I'm sure, and I can sit back and look. That's kind of like a dangerous air, little pool y'all in or whatever.
Right.
But it's definitely short-lived. So I applaud you for knowing your vision and sticking to your vision and not get so consumed to the outside world.
Yeah. Right. Or trying to pack out the house and all that stuff, because you do have a vibe.
Hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get a vibe though when you in a club. I guess it's supposed to be a lounge, but it end up being a club, and then they only supposed to hold 100 people, but they have 300. It's like, how you getting a vibe when you in there like sardines?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't possibly get a vibe because, for one, you people sitting on your lap, standing on your toes, and then you mad because they didn't step on your new white sneakers. Now you have a whole fight, but you got 300 people, so all y'all in that one little space trying to fight. Yeah. It's good that you're sticking in your lane.
And most of those clubs, it is a 18-month to 3-year lifespan.
Right.
It is
on these places.
That's why so many
what happens is, and I really no cap, I really want to teach a class on all the upcoming wannabe club owners and promoters. You go into a building, you build out something you don't own, you spend thousands of dollars on a space. You turn it up. Yes, you make money, but in 2 to 3 years, it's gone.
It's gone.
So you have no residuals from anything. Whereas on my end, let me take that slow money.
Right.
That when you come back and my kids is 40 and 50, they can still come and say, "Oh, we own that building."
Right. That's
on one of the most prominent streets in Portsmouth.
Absolutely.
They need to know and think about it different, because our culture is powerful. What the economic impact that these social environments and entertainment environments have, if we do it responsibly.
Right.
We can literally form a unit that we are so powerful, both financially, politically, and our voices heard, that we can actually change the culture of what we can be to come. But it's hard when everybody wants that limelight. They want it, but I say go get it.
Go get it.
And keep me over here in my nice little area, and I'm happy. My team is happy. my clients have happened, we have a good freaking time. It's a vibe. Honey.
It is. It's definitely a vibe. And I honestly can say that not because you're sitting to the right of me, and because for me, I guess because I'm about to be 45, so it's like I'm not with the limelight. So I don't like, like you were saying about the limelight and all this stuff like that. But what you have done there and are doing, again, I applaud you.
Thank you.
But I have one question. When you were talking, and I briefly thought about it. Okay, now what if you had a friend, right, and they were in the same line of business as you? Do you think you guys can possibly have a real friendship? Honest friendship?
Yes, absolutely. I actually do have that situation. A good, I'm not gonna say she's a good friend, but we've traveled together. We've done vacations together. We can talk and laugh. I kiki at her spot. She'll come and kiki at my spot when we got time. We know we can't, always be at each other's spots. But if I have to pick a spot, I'll go to the corner.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Tawana is, somebody I haven't met her partner, but me and Tawana go hard for each other.
Okay.
So yes, I think so. And I welcome those type of relationships. Because it's not many females
right
that actually run clubs. So I am like, ooh, that's a girl. Let's talk.
Right.
You want to be my friend.
Yeah.
Like, because we can have those type of conversations that the guy's not going to understand.
Right.
Like, I'm real technical. If you see my girls, all their shoes gonna match. Like, no, we got to have the same shoes because you're not going to be around here with a bad body, pretty face, your hair's down to your butt, and you got on some Skechers.
Right.
It's not going to work. None against Skechers.
Right.
But we're not doing that at Truth. We're not doing that at the High. Only a woman will understand that type of touch.
Right.
So to have those type of conversations like, girl, why are all the guys trying, and my bottle girls trying to do this with the guy? We'll understand those type of conversations.
Right.
So yes, I think we can. And I welcome it. But the woman has to be secure in who she is.
Absolutely.
Too.
Right. Exactly.
Because, yeah.
I definitely understand you, but like sometimes, as women, I think that women have it worse than men. Because with the men friendships, they like, oh, we're gonna get this lawn care business and we're gonna do this car wash next. But the women, it's like, oh, and I think go back to what you said. If she's not confident who she is, and not because some people have like a jealous streak, right? And that's like one of the worst traits you can have to me is jealousy. And then
and then someone might not even be jealous, they're just trying to get in your shoes.
But it's nothing
but
wrong.
Be honest and upfront about what you're doing.
Right.
Don't try to go backdoor somebody.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, sunshine, like I don't know, but this is what I want to do.
Right.
Can you show me? And it's and I think if you pray about it and then you go to that person, then I think it can be received, well.
90% of the time that people come to me and say, sunshine, I want to do this, and that. Will you help me? I go above and beyond, even if it's stepping on what I'm trying to do or if it's in my same lane, because I truly believe that it's enough for everybody. I really, really believe that. And everyone knows, like, I don't mind sharing my knowledge, all the mistakes I've made, use this as a platform to grow from it.
Right.
But what I don't like is when you don't take the appropriate steps to honor someone and what they have done and try to learn from them opposed to backdoor.
Right.
So that's kind of the issue that this industry has. And it's not just a woman thing. It's a thing in the whole as far as, oh, they're doing this. Let me go jump on it. Just, to be extremely transparent, I was one of the first Black-owned establishments to have a private club since roughly about 1989. They hadn't issued any new licenses. Once I started doing that, a lot of people started doing after hours, whether it was legal or not. They just wanted to jump on that wave, but they didn't know the pain and the stress that I went through and my organization that's a legit organization to get where we are. But then that arena became so saturated. It became so like, okay, let me do this because she apparently is making money off of this without doing it the right way. I'm a proponent of coming to business, but do it the right way.
Exactly.
Take the same that I had to go through to do it right and not capitalize and be a vulture on it has been created just because it has a glam limelight. Don't like. That's my only. And my team is like, Sunshine, just don't worry about it. Just keep going. But that's the only thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way about being in this industry.
Yeah, I'm sure. But now being that you just said about like far as your team and you working and they don't see like the struggle, like what was something that happened besides, you know, when you said when you first started that you went through and you said, hey, you know what, and you kept pushing?
I've been through a lot. Oh gosh. I can just run it down. It was like back to back to back. I'm not understanding. From starting off the first storm, well, before the storm, I had a manager that completely tried to pull my business from me when I went on vacation. Came back to literally nothing. It was a situation where we were in a space first. A tenant moved next door and didn't like our music.
Oh, okay.
And even though we were a gym, why did you move next door to a gym?
Right.
Well, they took it personally. I went out of town and they had the music skyrocket the whole time. The police was called. They threatened to take me to, it was a whole situation. So I was like, look, you got to lay low for a minute because ultimately I'm in contracts with the management company and there's an enjoyment clause in everyone's lease. So you kind of have to, you know, tread light to light. So you're just going to work on Sundays until we finish. Never talked about taking the pay. Oh my God. People like to go to the book on me. Went straight to the book that I'm taking that person's side. Became a race thing. And I didn't have their support and they're officially withdrawing their support from my business. I lost almost half of my company at that time. That was the summer of 2016. Then October came and Hurricane Matthew came and flooded the whole business. Then I walk away from my job in January. Got to go through all of that. So once that settled down, I'm trying to rehab the building, get it reopened. I come downtown Portsmouth, open my second location there. That ended up being great. And just different trials and tribulations along the way with bringing different people in your business. Now, I'll say this and I'll slide this in. As you are an entrepreneur, you have to realize that you have a light and an energy that is going to have people gravitate to you.
Right.
You got to know your vibration and know who you are, because the wrong energy will come to you and completely knock you off your game.
Exactly.
And I've had that happen to me time and time again because I'm so trusting. People come and say, hey, I want to be your manager. Okay, go ahead. What you want to do?
Right.
All right.
Not go ahead.
Straight like that. You want to run one of my locations? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
It got to the point that I had 3 fit bars. I had the high upstairs, and I was working on my consulting company. So I was flying in and out of the state, working with different fire departments across the country, helping them get accredited. So I'd be like, oh, you got it. Oh, go ahead. And before you know it, the person then came in, infiltrated my whole business and pulled things out. And I had one situation downtown. Oh my God. Where I left for the whole month of April of 2018. I leave to go and work in Churchland to do some rehab work out there. And I come back in March, and I come back April to check the books. It was like $10,000 short. And I was like, hold on. Wait a minute, let's back this up and see, how we're going to mitigate this. But we got to cease and desist. No, we're not selling nothing right now. Boy, this was on a Friday. They got a U-Haul truck that Sunday and took everything out and cleaned the forks, plates, spoons, knives.
Clean you out?
They cleaned the entire business out.
This was an employee.
This was a
manager.
Partner-ish.
Partner-ish.
Once again, you want to do what? Come on, let's do it.
Wait a minute, what is a partner-ish? Dr. Sunshine.
You just played me, Shay. A partner-ish is somebody that you have a verbal contract with. That is not, you can't uphold a verbal contract in Virginia. So we didn't have any paperwork, so they were partner-ish. And it was like, all right, look, just sell the food and we'll split the money at the end. I ain't tripping. I'm good.
So they can't. So first of all, you was 10,000 short. I'm assuming they had something to do with it.
Yeah. So I was like, give me receipts. They started giving receipts for Lowe's and Home Depot.
Man.
Ain't no food at Lowe's and Home Depot. And then completely shut down, pulled everything out, and went 2 streets up and opened up the same business that we had together 2 streets up. Won't he do it?
Didn't he do it?
Yes, he did. So what I did was, okay, cool. This happened early Sunday. I went to Restaurant Depot, went to all the restaurant stores, and I was open by Monday morning. All new stuff. And from tables, chairs, cups, knives. They even took the rolling tape for the
So I'm trying to figure out what gave them the right to do all of this. It was actually your business and they was partner-ish. So that means they pretty much came to you like, hey, can I join you? Not you say, can I join? You didn't ask to join them, they asked to join you. But they're gonna take stuff from you.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to be careful with that.
And I didn't know these were all novice mistakes that Dr. Swinson made early on. I have this free flowing that I just want us all to be great. So I had to.
You kind of live up to your name, Sunshine. You just a ray of sunshine. It's like, come on to the sun.
Everything cool. Like I don't stress nothing. You want? Come on, let's do it. We ain't tripping. But I had to realize that my energy and my vibration also breeds and attracts vultures.
Right.
Exactly.
People that want your energy, they want what you have, and they want not willing to work for it, but they want to capitalize off of who you are. So yeah, after that happened, we went 2-3 months of health department being called on us, fire marshal, inspectors, all types of. I never forget. Look, it was the funniest thing ever. The health department came in. She's called and she said, Sunshine. She said, I got to come, but I don't want to come. I'll be there in a minute. I was like, oh Lord, what did it do now? So she comes in and she said, we have a complaint that somebody says that you're in the kitchen cooking and tasting food with the same fork that you cook with. And I said, are you serious?
Oh,
it was literally, that was the complaint, that I am cooking food. You know how like you home and you take the spoon and you take the same spoon and put it back. I could not believe it because I wasn't even a cook.
Right.
I never cooked in the kitchen, never did anything. So I was like, oh man, but you just take it, you smile. And I think this is publicly the first time I really talked about it. You just take it and you just, you just take it and you keep going. And I said, what's for me? So at this time, Pop upstairs, we doing numbers. So I was like, you know what, Lord, this area ain't for me. I was just doing it to show that you can't push me. You can't pump me. I'm going to get it regardless. So I changed downstairs to the hookah lounge, the high hookah lounge. Still private. Them two starting to do real well. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. Completely let it go. Now she down the street still running her business. And I'm like, okay, she's happy. I'm happy and everything. But mine manifested in something greater. So when the devil attacks you, don't attack back.
Yeah, exactly.
God has you. Keep a positive mindset. Learn from your mistakes because things don't happen to you unless you have opened the door for it to.
Right.
So learn where you messed up at. Continue to push forward. And less than a year and a half after that, I bought 3 buildings.
See, and that was a test for you, and you passed the test because had you fought back the wrong way, then you may not be where you are now.
That is true. Yeah. And every person that I've had some situation with, I never fight back. I never defend. Now, if you come and ask me, I'll definitely tell my story. But over the years, the blessings have come out of nowhere. I mean, literally, I don't even respond to certain stuff. And when I get excited, like, if you just punch me in my face right now, I'm like, yes, Lord, you got something for me. Jeez,
ain't no way.
Trauma.
Ain't no way.
Trauma. Because I've learned through adversity, I've always came out with amazing.
Right.
It took me 1 year and 7 months to build out truth. 1 year and 7 months. Literally, I bought the building. I was like, oh, I got a tenant. I'm going to be collecting rent. I'm hyped. Man, they found it was a Black woman. He said, no, and literally moved out overnight. Wow. So I was left with this building like, what am I going to do?
Are you serious?
True story.
So they moved in?
No, they were already there. They had been there since the 80s.
Oh.
Yeah, they had been there since.
So you bought a building that already had a tenant, but when they found out.
Yeah, I tried to go out the spaces that already have income.
And they said no.
It was like, because I had to go in with the insurance company to do the assessment when you're switching insurance over. Right. So he didn't ask me, he asked my agent, like, is she the new owner? And it was like, yeah, he sent that notice of not the intent and he was gone.
Wow.
That's where he was never on the lease. With the they just kind of let him, he been there so long, let him just kind of roll.
And that's kind of messed up, but I bet you where he went to probably he's not doing too much.
I don't think he's in business anymore. Yeah.
Because why would you move from where you've been for years just because of who owned the building?
I didn't sue him. I did not sue him because he didn't pay rent for like 2 months. I did not sue him. And that concession came out of a blessing because when it was time for the pandemic for me to pull out of some of my commercial spaces, the owners of those spaces graciously let me go.
Mhm.
So it was like kind of, like you did good by somebody, that good karma came back.
Right.
And
Exactly.
then, building that space out, I never would imagine I could do something that amazing.
Mhm.
I look at truth and I'm like, wow, this is
yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. And I can imagine, like, so when you walk in there and you see what you've done and you go to work, right? Well, you don't call it work, you just call it going to the office or just go and hang out.
Girl, I'm in these streets today, honey. I walk in, I be like, hey, Shonda. She like, hey, Pooh. It's a whole event every day. I'm coming in with that energy every day. I should be through the
But
door.
you know what? That's actually a good way to be, though, because you have to tell your day how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Right.
You tell it how it's gonna be, and then you show it how it's gonna be. Because if you come in there like, oh, Lord, eat wings, they don't mess with eat wings today. Yeah. But so it has to be something that makes you feel good. Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, on those days when you feel like, you know what, I'm just overwhelmed, I'm stressed, it's like too much, like on one of your off days, what gives you that extra push?
It's kind of twofold. I know my limits. Okay. I've learned. So the sunshine that you see now was not the sunshine 6 months ago. Okay. If something happened, I was a mess. I would cry. It was just like, woe is me. Now, granted, that year and 6 months, that 6-7 months that I built out Truth were probably the most stressful time of my life. I didn't know I was going to make it through. But I sought mental health. Okay. I went on a spiritual retreat. Shout out to Oya, who is my spiritual advisor. And I found me. I let go a lot of the trauma that I had inside of me, a lot of unresolved issues, a lot of self-esteem issues that I had, and just completely dealt with it. So often, especially we get this strong woman, and don't add the black on top, and we just hold kryptonite that top, strong black woman. I hate that word. A man made that up. I promise you he did. That was the title that I had been holding since being a teenage mom. I had my son in 11th grade of high school. Right. I struggled my senior year, but I made it. Go off to college, bottles, trying to still study, just to continue to keep up with the Joneses. Right. I never unpacked that ish. Okay. So when something would happen, it was like the world was falling apart. So when I took the time, I went to Puerto Rico. We were on a spiritual cleanse and, got to know who I was and mentally unpack my crazy. That's when I finally got to a place of peace. That even in a storm, I am still at peace. Now, I do know my limits, that when it's starting to get crazy and I'm physically tired, Shauna, know I'm on the computer, it's time to go. I'm going somewhere because I know my limit. I literally work 7-8 days a week. Yep, I said 8. There's an 8th day somewhere. I know it's there because I don't know how to be getting the stuff done. It's there. But I know my limits, and when it's time to go, it's time to go. But again, when it comes to peace, you can't see peace unless you really believe that it's there. You feel it inside. So hard days are always going to be there. But that peace provides me the stability to coast through anything. It's like, all right, everything cool. Yeah. We're going to work through this. Yeah. Give me a shot. Yeah. Give me some.
And you know what? And that's good what you just said about peace. And a lot of us don't have that peace. And that peace can't be brought either. So there's a lot of stuff that can't be brought. And, just like you said, dealing with trauma, you have to deal with it head on and unpack everything. So because you were able to do that, you are where you are now and where you're going.
It took some time because I had some toxic stuff in me. Right. I was that toxic girl that'll make up a whole story in her head and project it on you. You did that.
Oh, man.
You said good morning. Now what she really meant was. Yeah. Ain't no way. I just had to realize, like, we are balancing so much in life. So you got your kids, they driving you crazy. Shout out to everybody raising teenagers in this social media infused world. We are not okay. Just trying to figure all of it out on top of being a boss and being responsible for a team that provides their help them provide a livelihood for themselves. Right. So we're a real business. We do payroll and taxes and workers' comp and all. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We pay taxes. We owe taxes. You do a lot. You know,
Girl.
it's not easy that when the customer wants you to focus on the food and getting it out and providing a good drink. Sometimes in your head, you like, did I pay my taxes? Did I talk to this person? Did I renew this license? Did I get this insurance? Did this new person workers' policy?
Right.
Oh man, did I pay my contractors? All of those things that go along that if you don't seek some type of peace within yourself is going to take you to another level that you weren't ready for. And doing that since 2017, I didn't realize how cuckoo. Now all entrepreneurs are a little off.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I
believe that.
My I go to therapy once a week. He just dropped me.
Wait, would you get the therapy and let your cuckoo out? So you go, Thompson, yeah, I went to this retreat and let all my crazy out. So when you went to therapy,
my therapist just dropped me.
Dang.
Well, oh wait, he did.
Oh, girl.
I was in therapy once a week, and he said I was progressing so much.
Okay. So
when we're just sitting there, we're literally kicking like this.
So he didn't drop you. He just said you.
No, he dropped me. So now I can only go once a month. So if you have a therapy appointment available, I'm looking for a new therapist that can get me in once a week. Because you need that time. You need that time. And he was like, look, I need that space for somebody who really needs it.
Yeah.
So once you put yourself in that box of, you can you learn to release, things just get better.
Yeah, I agree with you a lot. You said a mouthful because those are things that go through your mind. Even when I'm in the boutique and you've been in there yourself and I be in the back, then you come in, I'm like, oh, hey, wait a minute. I'm doing other stuff. And then when I come out, I'm trying to talk, but I'm thinking about, oh, did I just hit submit on that? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let me see how long they're gonna be. Yeah. So your mind be everywhere. And I think therapy is a good thing though.
It is. It's amazing.
Especially if you have the right therapist though.
Yes.
Because if you don't have the right therapist, it could sometimes come off like you just there and you really don't know what you're supposed to be doing or saying. And they're just sitting there trying to figure out, well, are you going to do something? Are you going to do a tap dance? What you going to do? Yeah. And, so it's kind of like off. You have to have that good therapist, the one that really want to pull it out and be like, okay, this is that, to get you to open up. Because even like when I first went to my therapist, I didn't open up right then and there to her because I'm trying to figure out like
out on the couch.
I'm trying to figure out okay.
I was ready. I walked through the door crying. Ready. You got that fumble up and like.
But it's actually a good release.
Yeah.
Like that. I think that first time when you do it, I know for me, that first time I was like, I had cried so much, my head was hurting. And I was looking at her.
You was crying in there too?
What?
I guess because of me, I'm sitting there trying to figure out like what we gonna talk about, like how this go. I've never been this. How this go?
Coming back, I had cried so hard. Like I was like, I couldn't even see.
I'm like, how much I'm paying you? Oh, you gonna get all this smoke? Exactly. I'm gonna unleash. You gonna go home stressed out, messing with me? I need all of it. But yeah, my he was like, most people that are entrepreneurs are either semi-sociopaths or high functioning bipolar.
High functioning bipolar.
Yep.
Yes.
You pointing at me again?
Yes, because she's my boss in real life. She is high functioning bipolar.
But we have to be. First of all, no, not sociopaths. He said narcissists. Narcissists. And at first, I was kind of like, what? But when I started looking at some of the characteristics of a narcissist, they're dope people. They have the ability.
Okay, so you sit here try to normalize.
Yes. Go ahead, girl. What you say?
They have the ability to manipulate an entire person or entity or vision to have people believe in you. You have to be a narcissist. You believe in yourself that much, and I'm gonna say, leave everything you do and come be with me. That you're a narcissist, and I was like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. I can do that.
I think that's dope.
Good. It's good narcissist. Like, as long as you manipulate and lie and control,
right?
But to get people to believe in your vision and actually jump on board.
But you know what?
Amazing.
But now that you say that, I think you do have to have some type of level of it, because when you believe in yourself and you have like an out of body experience where you believe in yourself, then I do think you can influence people. Or you know, just like selling a car. Like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna sell this car. You know the car piece of shit when they pop pop the hood on it, but you could get them to sell it because one, you're confident in what you're doing, and you know who you are, so you're sitting there and you're doing the best. So I don't know. I just know that my boss is a narcissist.
She gotta be. You manage so much. Like that's why I've come to the place of love. You just gonna set me as I is.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you want me to be successful and you want me to look good in your eyes, that ain't gonna work. You can get one or the other. So that's why my fit is beautiful.
Right. Yes.
So let me ask you this. To the realization of you gonna love me regardless, honey.
Yeah. Right. And I think if you love yourself and you love yourself the way that you are, then people will love you and accept you for who you are. But if you don't love yourself, then they're not gonna accept because you're not confident who you are.
600-pound life, all them chicks got men.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Her last one on pulling up the rolls, wiping
wiping all that.
Get somebody to go to in the kitchen to get us some water at night. Go get yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with your legs, but they wiping it and everything. You just gotta believe in yourself, and you know.
So let's talk about My Fit is Beautiful.
Yes, I want to talk about My Fit is Beautiful.
So what made you write the book My Fit is Beautiful?
So this is my book. I love it. So My Fit is Beautiful is a 2-part series. Well, I'm not gonna say a series, but 2 portions in the book. That the first portion I talk about my life and how I became who I am today. Most people see sunshine as like, oh man, that's sunshine. You know, I'm not saying who I am. No, yeah, I'm somebody.
Right. That's right.
You know, you got to believe in yourself. Yes, I am Bill Cosby's. No, that wasn't a good one. Where the hell did Bill Cosby come from? Lord Jesus. Okay, let's move back. We're gonna back that thing all the way up. Okay, so My Fit is Beautiful. It is a kind of a love letter to myself, talking to myself, but educating people on my journey from being in an abusive relationship to being young and struggling with obesity and self-identity issues. Being in school, I was a thick girl. 5th grade, I remember having boom, bam, and all of that. And I just wasn't normal like the other little girls, which at that time, it wasn't cute. Right. That wasn't acceptable. You was like morbidly obese at that time. That it created self-esteem issues that allowed me to be, a teenage mother having a child by a man that's 10 years older than me, being taken advantage of at such a young age. And those lessons of abandonment issues with my father and not having anyone in the household, how that manifested into a child that was afraid and used food as a way to cope.
Right.
And that manifested into deep, dark places in my life. So I talk about how I was able to unpack that trauma as an adult and manifest it to something great that started Fit Bar and helped, over 800 women lose weight or meet themselves at a place where they're of comfort. And I just share my story and my journey, and then I give all the tips of how I'm able to get to a place of where I love all of this, honey. Them thighs is something special, So the back portion is called Fuck Being Fat, which is a workbook that works you through how to unpack your trauma. So that chapter 6, it'll talk about what things are manifesting in you and how can you work through. So to have activity number 1, it'll walk you through how to get to the activity. You're physically writing the book, and then you go to the next step. So it takes you like a 30-day process. So once you read the first part, you get an understanding of who I am and how I got to where I am and why I'm qualified to even write a book for you.
Right.
Why you should even listen to me. Because some people be writing books. You be like, bruh, how you gonna write a business book? You still struggling in the business.
Exactly.
That's not gonna work.
Exactly.
So once you get to the workbook portion, it takes you on a journey of self-love and self-understanding that when you come out, you are fire, honey. Right. You are feeling it like you've never felt it before. And that's what My Fit is Beautiful is.
So what made you write the book? What made you say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna write a book on it instead of just journaling what you went through and your feelings and all of that?
So funny story. So I be telling all my business. It's actually in chapter 4-2 or something like that. Anyway,
it's good. Hold on. It's good that you know your book. Right. Some people be like, oh, hold on. I don't know what chapter this is.
Right. That's
I
true.
forgot what they wrote in the book, especially if they had a ghostwriter.
I was working as something I was holding on to. So when I decided to open up Fit Bar, like I was really, really like into this fitness, weight loss, and doing group fitness. We did Zumba. I remember what Zumba is like. The first time you was just like,
do
really,
they still
really
do
dancing.
Zumba?
I think they do, but they've like remixed it to more hip hop style dance. So it was flourishing back then. So I went to my husband at the time, which is now my ex-husband. I was like, look, I'm going to open up this gym and it's going to be this. And I'm going to have juices and smoothies up front. I'm going to have childcare. I'm going to have a workout gym and all of that. So I'm just going on and on and on. This was January of 2015. So I'm telling him, and I said, I've dreamed of it 3 times. I'm going to do this. And he, on the phone, he's overseas at the time. And he was like, real calm and collect. He was like, how are you going to do all of that? You fat.
Ooh.
So I kind of sat there for a minute and I was like, oh, okay.
You had to think about it, like,
because
he put that seed in you to make you doubt yourself.
I said, you're right. Damn, you're absolutely right. So we went on. It was like a normal conversation. Like, you want something to eat? Yeah, give me some pizza. Okay, cool. What we doing later? It was like a very smooth conversation. It wasn't contentious. It wasn't none of that. It was just very fluent. So that stuck in my head since 2015. When I finally opened up that space that had a group fitness gym with the child care and the gym and the juices and the smoothie in the front, I remember him coming to the grand opening later that year, and it was like, wow, you did it. Now they won't follow you because you're still fat. So you got to be the one in the background. So get somebody else.
Said that?
He was still saying
but
that.
It was affluent. It was like, they're not like, ooh, it's like, come on, we about to go walk.
But he was saying it because he was being sincere. But at the same time, that's kind of putting a seed in your head to kind of doubt.
Know it was toxic as I don't know what. Yeah. So he was like, don't be the front person. Get somebody else to do the back. So that was the second portion of it. That still stuck with me. So now I'm carrying these 2 things of, I did it, but I'm not worthy because I can't lead people because I don't look a certain way. And then once I got it, I did. And it's like, I'm like, okay, can you give me that? I'm proud of you. I still don't get it. It's like, all right, yeah, you did it because you're smart. I mean, come on, Sunshine, you smart. But don't be the front person. Push somebody else in front, which I did. I followed his lead. And then when that blew up, the third go around, I said, you know what, this time I'm going to bet on myself.
That's right.
So those 3 things I stuck through. So when I went through my trauma and I went through Puerto Rico and releasing all of that, those things stuck and it resonated with me. And I said, how many women are holding on to stuff because they're or who they are doesn't fit the identity of what people think qualification looks like. So you mean to tell me there are no thick women out here? There are no thick women that love every curve and shape of their body that like to work out. There's nobody that looks like me. I can't teach you how to go through trauma and unpack your stuff and love yourself regardless of your weight, your size, financial abilities, inabilities. You got a man, not got a man, or trying to get one or struggling through one. I'm not qualified to give you my experiences. So I did this book as a rebellion. Yes, I can.
Like,
I'm
gonna show you.
And I'm unpacking to show that there are women like me. And with the release of the book, I mean, first week, I think we sold over 1,000 copies.
Oh, that's good. So
yeah.
At what point did your divorce take place? Before the book or after?
Before the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I really didn't unpack until I went through the trauma. I was a functioning toxic person. I was I was a high functioning toxic person. You know, like the people that drink, but they still go to the
but they still go to.
Yeah, I was one of them. My uncle was like, he would take that Rose Island or something, Mad Dog 20. Throw that jump back and go straight to work. He was functioning. That's how I was. Had so many demons in my head of going this and self-doubt and all of that. But I was a high function. I was able to push through, and I didn't realize how messed up I was until I sort out spiritual counseling. And from there, I was like, I got to offload all of this stuff in my book.
And that probably was the best thing for you. And from there, you've been going ever since. So you've been running ever since. So although he was your husband, because he kind of played a good role, but a bad role because he pushed you, because he planted seeds in your head. Although it seemed as though it was like just general conversation because you was used to it, clearly. But when you said to people that's not used to that, it's like, what? Did you not? He said what? But to you, you're like, oh, well, it was just general conversation. But he was still planting seeds, little nuggets in your head to make you doubt yourself. But at the same time, you knew you can do it because you had the vision.
But
you
that
know,
was a
but
level
he would,
of control too.
right.
You know, he probably
Absolutely.
felt powerless as a
right,
man.
because
so
if you do too much, he might lose
Yeah.
you. And look at where
Yeah.
you at now, and what you do, you drop them off. His bus
Definitely did.
came for him, and you kept going.
Heard. On walk, bro. But I thank him, because if it wasn't for those experiences, I wouldn't be able to go through what I go through now. Like, I deal with men on a daily basis in the industry that I'm in that talk crazy to you. And I be looking like, look, I had a whole husband that was talking way crazy to me. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing that man ain't did to me. Go on, boo. So yeah, I definitely appreciate him. And we were kids when we got together, so no hard, no feel. We've been knowing each other 13 and 14. We have beautiful kids out the situation. So,
and I think one of the things, like, far as you unpacking your trauma or you dealing with whatever issues you may have, you have to forgive.
Yes.
Right.
And you can't
I
continue
ain't say I forgave him. I don't like. I'm just.
I mean,
like
you
you.
can't revisit the past, because what I'm learning is when you keep revisiting the past, then you are stunting your
Yes, absolutely. You have to let go and you have to move on. That's part of the not attacking when you're attacked. Don't attack back. Just keep pushing. I think now I've never been so clear on my vision of where I'm going and who I am as not only an entrepreneur, but as a leader of my team. Like, my team, they trust saying that it's tough days and we have some rocky times. January almost, Jesus, that was a tough time. But they know that when I said, give me some time and let me digress and figure out where we need to go next. They trust that moment that when I come back, I'm more empowered, and I can empower them and we can push forward. So yeah, I've never been more clearer in where I am and who I am and where I'm going and where my team is coming with me, because without my team.
I love that about you, though, because just listen to you speak. When you speak in plural.
Absolutely.
So that speaks volumes to who you are as a person. Now, what would you tell someone who is trying to do some of the things that you're doing? What type of advice would you give them?
Don't do it. Know what your reasons are. You have to get into it for the right reason. So I'll give you some experience, and I'm very transparent on some of the things. Like I said, I had a toxic petty inside of me. So when I had a situation where I didn't truly believe in that vision, but when everything was pulled out of my business, it was like, oh, nah, I'm going to show you. So I ventured on a path that wasn't authentically me. I had another failed business relationship, oh, you ain't going to do this. I'm going to push forward on that. So know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Find your why. Don't get into mental health and have a home healthcare business because people making coins off of it.
Right.
You see people, oh, I want to drive a car. I want one of those. It's not going to work. You have to be authentic in what you are doing. Don't start selling candles because she's selling candles. Absolutely. Don't open up a boutique and buy your stuff from, was it Etta Bobby or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Things
yeah.
Now you can slap the name. Now you got a boutique because your homegirl selling it. You have to find what's authentically you.
Right.
Once you find your why, then you develop a plan of how. So this is why I want to do it now. How can I make a living off of this? Once you pour those two together and you can push forward, there's nothing that is going to stop you, because that passion will far exceed the money, the ups and the downs. When you're passionate about something, it's going to keep pushing. So you have to find authentic space that is you. And that's only then when you'll thrive. Right. Only.
Good advice. Good advice.
Stay
in your lane.
Find your lane.
Find your lane.
Yeah. Find your lane.
Yes. I've never done anything. Cigar lounge. What people open up cigar lounges? That's what I wanted. A members only club. That's what I wanted. Juice and smoothie bars. That was not a big thing. Juice, fitness, and smoothies all together. So I always found things that were authentically that made me happy. Okay. And I was successful in every last endeavor.
That's good.
That's good.
So what is next? What is it that Sunshine want to do next? You have the hookah lounge private members. You have the high private. That's after hours too, right?
Yes.
After hours private member. So you have Truth. Yes. So what is it that Sunshine want to do? Or let me put it this way. What is it that Sunshine is going to do next?
Absolutely.
What I'm going to do. I'd be scared to say because people be like,
don't go too deep into
no, I believe what's for me is for me. I will give you my whole blueprint. You still can't walk in my shoes.
I know that's right.
That's true.
Truth is my baby. Truth is my baby, and the whole concept has nothing to do with power.
That's
So
all
let
you
me
could
put
ask
that
you.
out
Where did you get the
there.
name from?
So it was a combination of me talking to my brothers, and they was like, "Oh, we're gonna name it Power," because he called himself the St. Patrick guy, or
Ghost.
whatever.
Ghost, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, nah. I was like, no, the word truth. You know, back in the day, growing up in Portsmouth, the thing was like, man, yo, that food was the truth. Or that
Okay.
place was hitting. It meant authentic.
Okay.
So I wanted to open up a place that was authentically me, and it was nothing
it's
gonna be but the
connected.
truth.
Yeah.
So my goal now is truth is thriving, but I have kind of neglected the high. So I am doing a fresh remodel
Okay.
on the high that will start tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we'll have that back online, and I'm creating a overly exclusive. So the high has always been private, but it's going to be divided into 2 tiers. So the first tier will be the first floor, will be our elite members only club. So the second floor is getting a complete refresh. That is going to be the exclusive club of the high. So it's going to be a second tier that you have to really. I ain't gonna put it out. That's gonna be the that's gonna be the place that you're gonna want to be.
Okay.
So continue to develop. I'm definitely passionate about commercial real estate. I'll be closing on my 4th property this year. And I want to create a avenue where other entrepreneurs can get their fresh start in brick and mortar businesses. So when we get into brick and mortar businesses, no one really, I don't know if somebody told you, they didn't tell me that not only do you have to have insurance, you got to pay a water bill, you have to pay a light bill, you need to have workers' comp if you got people coming in, your employees slip and fall. You also are responsible for the real estate taxes on your building. Most of the time, it's supposed to be rolled into your lease space, but maybe it's not. You might get that bill on the outside. You also, if you're in a shopping center, you're responsible for the parking lot, so you pay a separate fee, the CAM fees on top of that. So all of those things.
And then don't forget the HVAC. A lot of them, even with my spaces, you're responsible for the HVAC.
You're responsible for all of that. So I want to create spaces where entrepreneurs can come in, and you got short-term leases, because let's just keep it honest, most businesses don't last more than 12 months starting off. I want to create spaces where there's no pressure. Okay, 3 months, let's get some coaching, let's get some things going on, that if you're not making it, it's okay. I don't want you to be crippled, because I made some very tough mistakes financially starting off in brick and mortar. Yeah, give me a 5-year lease. Yeah, give me this. I don't know what. I'm just signing everything. That's all I wanted with the keys. And I made some very costly financial mistakes early on, that I want to create a safe space where I can rent to different entrepreneurs as they're getting their start. And eventually be able to pass it on, where we do different things where, okay, if you want the building, let's work out a deal where you can get it, and I move on. So I'm moving more into commercial development and business coaching.
So how are you balancing all of this stuff?
Well, it's much easier now, because during the pandemic, I had the build out of Truth. I was running the high up and downstairs. I had 2.5 Fit Bar locations. We were building out the other one, and I had Simple Wings coming online. So I was running between multiple locations. But now that I've shut down everything and I'm exclusively on High Street, all of my stuff is there. So I can come to work at Truth. They're doing lunch, and I'm doing work, getting together I was about to reveal my next business, but getting that paperwork together. Because I will say this, a part of being in this industry, I've learned that you need to own every aspect of it. So every person that works in that business, you need to own it, because ultimately, from your security to the chefs that you have in the back, if you do not have some type of control in the avenue, you expose yourself to potential trauma or situations. So I'm working on owning every aspect of that business. So I don't even care. The next company I have is a security company. So I can make sure my security work for me, because I learned this business. You get other security companies and their best interest may not be you, which can potentially have exposures to crippling your business. So that's what we're working on now. We already have contracts lined up from commercial side that we won't just be doing security at my businesses, but that will be expanding.
Right. And that's actually a good thing, because security is key to a business like that, because a lot of times things happen through the security
Mm-hmm.
because they're not
They
on
always
it, or
happen.
Always.
Yeah.
So that's
Because if your
that's
security is
smart.
not on
That's very
point.
smart thinking.
Yep.
That's
So,
very smart thinking. So 3 to 5 years, you already know what you're gonna do. You already got a plan on what you're gonna be tackling it.
yes, I definitely have it detailed all the way down to yes.
But see, that comes from the schooling and comes from the structure.
Exactly.
So it's all actually like, lining up for you. And I'm sure that I have no doubt that you're not gonna succeed because you seem like you have that type of drive in you. And like you said, when you're passionate about it, you're gonna see it through.
Yes.
Versus somebody who's just trying to veer in somebody's lane. They just want to get in. So
through the back door.
Yeah. So now I know what truth is because people have asked me and I'll be like, no, it ain't gonna do with power, but I didn't know why.
Yeah.
But since you said it and you actually broke it down, it's actually dope. It's dope. It's dope. And the reason why you called it truth is definitely dope. We have one question from Miss Aisha Edwards. Do you have managers? Are they running each business like
a manager
for
that
each
run?
business? Yeah.
Yes. I do. I have a general manager who pretty much oversees the day-to-day of everything that we have going on. So they kind of go in between. We're actually literally decided, like, look, you need to build a team too, because you about to work yourself to death. She is my equal.
Okay.
Literally, if I'm up at 6 o'clock taking out trash, she right behind me.
That's good.
Pulling it too. But we both have limitations. We again,
yeah.
We out here these streets. So yes, we have a general manager that kind of oversees, and her main day-to-day is truth.
Okay.
We have a entertainment manager who is responsible for the activities between truth and the private club. The exclusive private club is going upstairs. We have someone who is running the high, but we'll probably be switching that out to get somebody that's more full-time to do that one. But when the high relaunches, the high will also have a general manager over there to run both of those.
Okay.
So that way Shonda can come out and can more oversee, and then the management underneath her can have their own individual entity. So yes, I do, but I am one of these. I hold on too tight. And I'm teaching myself how to let go because I'm stifling our growth because I want to know everything. I caught myself today. One of my managers, she was like, somebody said, well, where's the schedule at? I had already told her, do it how you want it. I don't care. I don't want to see it. Just going with it. The person was like, where's the schedule at? Oh, I don't know. I'm about to do it. She comes in the group and she says, oh, I'm about to send it out now. Send it to me first. Why? Why I need to see the schedule? Like real life. So when I did it, I felt dumb, and she immediately came in like not even 5 minutes later. She was like, here it is right there. And I'm paying her no mind. Like, all right, I really didn't care. It was just an impulse.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Yeah. I really didn't care. But yeah, that's an issue. But we do have management. And then under them, we have our bar girls, our bartenders, our cooks. And it's a whole threshold underneath, but we definitely have.
Well, that's good because you have to have that support, and and I know it may be hard letting the reins go because it is your baby. So at some point, you're gonna be there. But I mean, if you just like you said, you had one person that if you taking out the trash, she opened up the can.
Gotta do it too. And and this is some advice too, especially if you get into the restaurant industry or any industry, know how to do everything from the front to the back.
That's what I was about to ask you.
When you get into a situation and listen, your team is great, but when they can, when a animal can smell blood, they coming for you. And that was my first mistake that I learned with FitBar. I wasn't even certified to teach a class. I didn't know nothing about teaching nothing. I was like, what? I just want to get in there.
You just want to get in there, move.
But I didn't know the coordination and start on the right and the 8 counts and all. I couldn't do none of that. So literally when my manager at the time pulled the rug from under me, I was like flopping. Like I had no clue what to do. And that was my first mistake. You have to learn every aspect of that business. From I'm the top bartender to the point I have my own bartending school because I won't even hire you unless you take my bartending school because I need to train you how I need to.
Yeah.
I am the ultimate bottle girl. I can twerk on one leg with the other. No, I'm just playing. I can twerk. But every recipe in there, in truth, are mine.
Okay.
Those are my recipes. So if the cook leaves at any given time, there's going to be no lapse. I will jump in the kitchen. I will make you a drink. I will shove you down the door if I have to.
Right.
Every aspect of my business I can run. And that's how I know my team trusts me, because I can't ask you to do something that I can't do myself. So that's my biggest advice. And I lost thousands of dollars in Fit Bar because I wasn't fully equipped to run that business for real. That's why it failed. It failed because I wasn't ready. I had a vision, but I didn't do due diligence to authenticate that vision by being a student of the vision. Now it's nothing that I can't do. Like in any business that I have, there is nothing that I cannot do. And I won't step into an arena until I learn every aspect of it now.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you have any more questions, Ms. Gogan, before I say what I gotta say?
No.
Well, I have enjoyed you.
Thank you.
It's actually been a vibe. It really has. Ms. Go Getter, what did you take away from today?
I learned a lot. Other than she be frying that heck out that fish sandwich I be getting for lunch every day.
That be my son. I don't even be in there no more. But we'll be starting brunch. Let me get a shameless plug. I love breakfast. Breakfast is my soul and my heart. Like if I ever cook for you, I will always cook breakfast because that's like my love language. Brunch. I can do brunch every day. So starting on Valentine's Day, we'll have a full brunch menu. Food during our lunchtime too. It'll be all breakfast type food. So I'll be in there cooking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I've learned a lot. I had no idea she was Dr. Sunshine.
Either.
No idea. Didn't even think about it. No, didn't even cross my mind. Of course, I know about your business.
You look at me different now?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I do. Like, oh, wow, she's smart too. Yeah, I do. I really do.
So you think I should make people call me Dr. Sunshine now? Like in the club, be like,
you could for the fun of it. Like when they come in there, they be like, "What's your name?" Say Dr. Sunshine.
I do use it in school when my kids get in trouble. I always sign Dr. Sunshine.
So they can be like, "Oh no,
Dr. Sunshine M. Swinson." I sure do be like, "Ooh." Especially if they did something ratchet.
Uh-huh.
I need them to know they come from a good home.
Right.
That wasn't the intent of what I sent them out there in the world to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot. I really did. You know, I didn't know about the doctor. I know about all your the 3 clubs. Well, I don't even think they're called a club. They're more lounges.
That's why I put that post up the other day. Because it was like, oh, she competing in the club industry. I am not. Truth is a boutique, high-end neighborhood bar.
Right.
We're your cheers. When you come in, we're going to know your name. We know what you drink.
Every time I go in there, they already know. To the point where I can call and order something. And they already know it's me calling. They'll call right back. Girl, your stuff is ready.
That's part of our training. Like, pay attention to the numbers that come in, because when you provide that personal service, then they're gonna pick us. We might not have the best, but you're gonna pick us. Like, just because you can get your name called when you come in. Like, it's the whole thing. When Mike or JP or our regulars walk in, it's like, hey, and it's authentic. Like,
and it's always the same.
We love that type of stuff. So we train our people to be that way. So Truth is a boutique neighborhood bar. We're not a club. The High is actually a club. But in Virginia, there's no such thing as clubs unless you're private. The other places are actually restaurants. Yeah, there is no such thing as clubs.
Food for yourself. Yeah, okay.
You are a restaurant. So
wait a minute. What?
Yes.
The only places out here now are restaurants.
They're restaurants. There's no such thing as a lounge, and there's no such thing as clubs in Virginia unless you are a private club.
So they call a club an actual members club.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
And the High is an actual members club. In order to attend the High, you have to have a application process and a membership to attend that facility.
Oh, okay. It's exclusive. Okay.
It's exclusive, and it's regulated by the state.
Okay.
Regulated by the state. We have different rules that we have to follow outside of Truth and outside of a regular restaurant. The High is way more restrictive because we don't have a time limit on when we have to stop drinking. We can go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yeah.
So how do you after hours spot like club out at 2 or whatever, and then you go over to sit over there? I'm like, how do they do that? But now I know.
Yeah.
See, so I've learned something tonight.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm saying like this, like what?
And they have it. Like I said, we're the first license since 1989. Somebody can fact check that, but it's been since the 80s that they stopped issuing those type of licenses.
That's actually good. But what I've learned tonight, that's all you learned, Miss Go Get It. Well, you learned a lot.
I learned a lot.
We learned some other stuff too.
Yeah, we did, girl. I'm not
saying. Oh, I didn't learn that.
Well,
shout out to my nail tech tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow.
But I actually learned a lot today, and I mean, even down to like you were saying, like far as owning the business, make sure you know every aspect of your business, and even trusting people. Like I've learned, you really drop a lot of gems tonight, and if somebody will go back and really look at it, they can see the authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's the truth. She authentic.
Yeah, I stutter, so I can have like a hard time sometimes.
I can't say pure until I was about 14.
Pure? Oh, you won't do
this
it
on 100% pure. I couldn't get it out. I couldn't. But
that's because you were from Portsmouth, so
she
y'all.
Got one. Okay.
That kind of this really isn't your fault. Product of your environment. But I've actually learned a lot, and in all honesty, though, looking at you, not taking it anyway, not saying that you don't. I put it this way: by looking at you, you don't fit what society says you should. You are, meaning PhD. All these degrees, and like you don't look like a club owner. A boutique, you don't look like any of that to me. But you
like you gotta elaborate. You didn't walk into that door,
right? Then she, I'm looking like that. I'm looking like this. Like stop. Just
didn't
stop.
walk through it.
Right. No, I'm just saying. Like no. What I'm saying is, you put it this way. You do fit the.
I give you housewife vibes.
Oh no. No, not housewife.
Maybe Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop.
Like so, I get those vibes.
Meaning you have that like
socialite type
of
that.
What you drive, you look like you supposed to be.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because we know what you drive. You're only a couple of doors down from a boutique.
Right. So you fit that, but far as the education,
okay,
you don't. But that's a good thing because people will judge you just for who they see.
And then this is Dr. Sunshine.
That's me. So. It's funny, and
that's Dr. Sunshine.
I'll skate over this real quickly, but I was put in a situation that I was supposed to be the city manager for the city of Portsmouth.
I've read,
I
did my due diligence. I've read,
that. And politics got in the way, and I wasn't ready. Okay. I was not ready, and I didn't play the game like I was supposed to. I was very naive in what politics can do to you. Yeah. But I learned from it, and it was probably the best experience for me because it uncovered some faces that I thought were cool for me,
right?
Which I needed to alleviate and see those faces for who they are, because where I'm going, those faces could really hinder me at another level,
right?
So I'm grateful for being blasted on the news. Yes, Google me. No, you cannot say the word food stamps around me at all. Don't even humbly. Like I don't even like food. We're just going in at the word food. We not doing it. Like how you gonna be on the news for bad food?
I got
let it go. I told my lawyer I would let it go.
Yeah,
but this is who they knew.
Okay,
they knew this Sunshine, like her. Many people see this Sunshine, but the people that put me in that position knew my background. They knew. Balancing a book, literally, I could fix the budget issues with a snap of a finger without raising taxes. Like that's what I was known for.
Right.
The youngest person in the room that was with city managers and finance persons. Like she got it. I mean, no cap. I am good at that type of area, strategic and maneuvering and pushing the city forward. City of Portsmouth was supposed to be mine. And I had so many visions for that, and God willing, he'll bring it back where it's supposed to be. But this persona is my rebellion. This is my rebellion of, oh, okay, so y'all said what I couldn't be and who I was supposed to be. I grew up in a structure of black, brown, gray suits with heels on every single day, straight hair. That's who you're supposed to be. Now I will wear it blonde, purple. I'm going to have them up and out because I can't, because you cannot take away this person.
That's right. That's right.
No matter what. So I'm all in your face now. I'm just extra because I can. I'm on my little, guys having the midlife crisis. I'm going through mine on the other side and just shoving it in people's face because I'm going to be amazing regardless. And now I'm going to be extremely amazing because you try to take something from me.
Right. Yeah. So let me ask you this before we go. Would you consider running again?
Hell no.
You wouldn't?
No. No. I wouldn't because I learned so much. And it's in chapter 1 of my book. If you need more details, it's chapter 1 of my book. But no, let me take that back. No. I do apologize. Please scratch that from the record because it's going to be coming up. She said, hell no. Scratch it from the record. God will lead me where I need to be. Yeah. And if it's meant to be, it will. If I am called, the assignment will be done in excellence. And
that's right.
Yeah. We'll see where God takes me. But right now I have a rock star life.
Right. And you love it.
And I'm loving every minute of. So God, whatever your plans is, don't make it no time soon.
Because you know how he works. You know how he
works.
He don't go.
Let me tell you, listen, I went from, planning a vacation to being on the news in like 24 hours. It was like, what just happened?
Right.
Like, they all outside of my house. Like, I got to have bodyguards. That was crazy. Yeah, so crazy, God, whatever you got going on, just give me at least 48 hours heads up. I can deal with it better than 24.
I have a question for you. Well, it's not really a question. Well, it is. Would you have a conversation with people who just want to pick your brain, like far as business? Because we had a young lady that's asking. She said she would love to have a sit down with you and discuss business. That should make you feel good. Because you could be like a business guru.
Yeah, I will, and I'm working on that. In the beginning, yes.
Okay.
I was like, yes, bring it to me. I want to talk to everybody, and I'm still like that. I just ask, have direction of what you're trying to do. You bring me something, I can bounce you and pull you, but it became so depleting that people don't even have a vision for what they want, and they just want you to guide them. Like, I want to be a business owner. Well, what do you want to do? I don't know. I just don't want to work for nobody. What industry you want to be in? I don't know. I just wake up every day and I just hate going to work. I can't help you. And I found myself pushing and trying to help and try this out and putting people there, and I was getting depleted. So if you're one of those people, you got to sign up for my consulting. Like, go to my website, sunshineswinson.com. Pay me for that hour because you're going to stress me out and I deserve to get paid. But organically, if you're in a place that you know what you want to do, but you have not been able to find that path, by all means, jump in my inbox. I got you. I will literally be in the bed eating, and we can FaceTime it and talk, like wig off and all. Like, I'm that girl, but you got to bring some substance to the table because I didn't have a vision. No one really helped me. I kind of figured it out. But I knew my vision. You got to know where you're going and what you're trying to do. Like, don't come to me and you've never had a business before. It was like, oh, I want to own a security cyber company that's working for the Pentagon. Bro, you're a felon. Yeah. You ain't do the research. You know you got a top secret security clearance. Come on. I tried to work for the FBI and they turned me away because all my brothers was in the Fed.
They will. I
tried to work for FBI too.
Yeah, I was gonna get them. Now they turned me down because of my family. Like, no, you gotta do your due diligence before you take my time, because my time is precious and I'm going to give it to you. But now I'm so blunt during these times that if you don't have a vision, I'll tell you. Yeah, bro, you come back when you're ready. Yeah. And it's no shade or I think I'm somewhere. No, my time is precious. Right. And if I'm going to give it to you, I'm going to give it to you.
I'm giving you all.
Yeah. But one shameless plug, there's an organization called Black Brand. I am a consultant for them, and I help work with it's a free program. Look it up. It's the Black Chamber of Commerce, and they literally give you business coaching for free. So you'll get myself or a coach similar to myself. So if you're really serious, take the time. It's like 6 or 12-week program,
Mm-hmm.
take the time and do due diligence to get the material and the knowledge that you need before you just want to pick somebody's brain because you just want to pick somebody's brain.
Right. So basically what she's saying is, ladies and gents, have your stuff together.
Mhm.
Have your meat. She's going to bring the sides, but you have
Got
to
it
have
right.
the most
And my macaroni
important
and cheese
thing.
is bomb.
So that's basically what she's saying. But we have enjoyed you tonight, and it was definitely a vibe, and a vibe that can't be brought.
Mhm.
And I'm just glad that we actually connected. But before you go, how has your time been here on Wait Again Minute podcast?
First of all, I drove 15 hours to get here. That's first of all.
The Lord gonna bless you real.
It was a long ways. No, it was cool. Like, y'all got good energy anyway. And anything that I can do is dope. I can share my platform of who I am. And, anybody that's, thank you for being even interested in me. Like, on the low, like, that's dope. Like,
it's dope as hell.
I appreciate that. Like, I don't take anything for granted. Anytime somebody asks me to talk about me, that's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And I had fun and I learned so much.
Yes.
Ain't God good?
All the time. And you never know how you're gonna get a message or get what you actually need. And sometimes it be confirmation. We know things, but sometimes we need that reassurance.
Yes.
And that confirmation. So it's been good. Again, I appreciate you for accepting our invitation. Don't try to tell me what to say, Miss
Y'all so professional too. So look, I'm gonna put a T. So they called me, and then the production person called and had made sure I was right. I was nervous, y'all, because I had to be here by a certain time. So I was like, shoot, I'm driving, I'm speeding and stuff. I was like, oh, I gotta get there because someone's like, Shout out to y'all because I was nervous. I'm sweating, and then I stopped because I needed some chips. I stopped and got some Fritos and some gum because I was like, oh, I don't want my bread, but I want something to eat because I ain't had anything to eat. So I stopped and I was like, oh, I don't have time. Then I couldn't find it. But shout out to y'all for the organization and the structure. Like, that lady ran it down to me. Don't be late.
Yeah, PR.
I was like, I'm always late.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna work. Nah, I'm actually not. I appreciate people's time, so I'm not. But I called, like, she was like, oh, yeah, 10 minutes. Hey. Okay.
But see how it all worked out,
Yes, professionalism, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's nothing wrong with having that structure, Yeah. That structure will carry you.
It will. It definitely will. It's the difference between making it and just struggling. Yeah.
So that being said, we're gonna play our song and we're gonna get on out of here. I know you don't know the song, but
Okay, before she does that, make sure y'all come and follow me on IG. It's Still Self-Made. That's STILL, self, SELF, and then made is M8D. And then, of course, Facebook is Sunshine Swinson. And then find my book at sunshineswinson.com. And Swinson is SWINSON. Connect with me and at Truth, 305 High Street, and at the High, 307 High Street. In Portsmouth.
In P-Town, in Pistol City.
Heard.
Let's go.
Hey.
Yo,
listen up, everybody. Have you heard the news? Is this my book? Okay.
Yeah, I think I signed it to somebody else. But
we have to tip it up.
I just grabbed one.
So we got. But we keeping it hot. I'm a penny. We having fun. Ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team and we getting it done. Shout out to Travell. Yeah, you number one. Turned into a vision. Is our mission.
If you ain't about to change, mind your business.
Mind your business. I like that. I got a whole production on this one. I like it. We're going to play that in True. Put a little spins on that.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.